As drug makers move closer to developing a coronavirus virus vaccine, the question is, would you get one? When we asked on our Facebook page, nearly 75% of people responding said no. On Twitter, more said yes, but it was close. But tonight, I-Team reporter Brian New explores a different question. Not would you get a vaccine, rather, will you be required to get one?
Imagine for a moment checking in at the airport, showing your passport, your boarding ticket, but then being told you can't go any further. Why? Because you have not been vaccinated for the coronavirus.
And they could do that. I mean, that's something that
I think they could do. Yeah, you can't come into our state unless you show that you've had the vaccine.
Merle Matthews is a health policy expert with the nonpartisan think tank Institute for Policy Innovation. He says a vaccine mandate to board a plane is not out of the question. And that could be just the start. Want to attend a football game, go to a bar, go to school, keep your job? It could all require you to get a COVID-19 vaccination shot.
I suspect if you see cases rising and the governor's feeling like the only way we're going to be able to really reopen the economy is to try to get the vast majority of people vaccinated, I would suspect you'd see a lot of pressure to do certain things.
Health officials estimate between 60 and 80% of Americans would need to get a COVID-19 vaccine in order to create a herd immunity. And epidemiologists say a herd immunity is what's needed to end this epidemic. But most U.S. adults, when left up to their own choice, tend to skip recommended vaccines. Take the flu shot. According to a recent CDC report, only 43% of Texas adults get a flu shot every year. If that holds for a COVID-19 vaccine, states might be inclined to mandate it. And they could. According to the Congressional Research Service, the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that states have authority to require mandatory vaccinations.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if some of the blue states, California, Illinois, New York, or some others, maybe tried to mandate it.
But Matthews says it's highly unlikely that Texas Governor Greg Abbott would do the same.
That said, it doesn't have to just be the state government. You could have counties trying to mandate this if they feel like they have a real problem.
However, Matthews says what's far more likely to happen here in Texas is for businesses to mandate a vaccine. Legally, employers can make the vaccine a condition of employment, meaning you could be fired for refusing to vaccinate. There are exceptions for religious and medical reasons, but it has to be more than just a personal belief that the vaccine may be harmful. Matthews says the vaccine requirement is almost a given if you work at a hospital or nursing home, but may also happen if you work at a restaurant, bar, retail store, or factory.
They want to avoid the liability of having somebody come down and being able to claim they got it at the workplace.
The mandates could also be directed towards customers. Those no mask, no entry signs could easily be extended to no vaccine, no entry. But Matthews also warns this approach could backfire. Any vaccine mandate, especially here in Texas, would likely be met by some with an aggressive pushback. And that could lead to fewer adults getting what health officials say is needed to end this epidemic. What Matthews says is often lost in this conversation about a vaccine is talk about a COVID-19 treatment. Now, an effective treatment wouldn't necessarily eliminate the need for a vaccine. It would provide an option for those who decide not to get a vaccine as a way to reduce their symptoms and to go on to lead a normal life. Matthews says it's that combination of both a vaccine and a treatment that may ultimately be the key. With the I-Team, Brian New, CBS 11 News.
Brian, thank you for the insight.